The cold champagne hit me like a slap from God himself. Instant ice bath straight through my custom white Galia Lahav gown. 30 grand soaked and clinging to my skin like saran wrap, while 500 of Chicago's richest assholes roared with laughter. I'm standing dead center in the Art Institute ballroom, dripping like a broke prom queen, and my own daddy, David Larson, old money real estate king, still holding the empty silver tray, leans into the live mic and says loud enough for the whole city to hear, "Classic Brie, always so damn clumsy." The room explodes. My mama fake gasping into her pearls, my perfect sister Jessica damn near choking on her own highlight, tears streaming from laughing so hard, phones up, stories recording, viral in 4K. And me? I don't cry. I don't scream. I just lock eyes with my father, push the wet curls out my face, and give him the coldest, slowest smile Chicago's ever seen. Because what they don't know is the joke's on them, and the punchline just landed at O'Hare 20 minutes ago. Drop your city, and the moment you finally let the mask slip and watched your whole fake-ass family choke on the truth. I'm reading every comment, no cap. My name is Brie Larson, 32, Assistant United States Attorney for the Northern District of Illinois, the same office that took down 3 governors, half the outfit, and Senator Burns' crooked ass last year. In federal court, they call me the Reaper, because when I walk in with a grand jury indictment, careers flatline. Outside of court, I'm worth north of $30 billion because 2 years ago, I put a ring on Michael Sterling, the ghost in the machine behind Sterling AI, the man Forbes can't even get a photo of, the man whose net worth makes my daddy's little real estate empire look like a lemonade stand. We've been married 2 years, living quiet in a glass house compound in Winnetka with floor-to-ceiling Lake Michigan views and security tighter than Fort Knox. My family, they still think I'm the broke public defender who can't keep a man because that's the version I let them keep. Tonight was supposed to be Jessica's engagement party. The golden child finally locking down Ryan Harrison, political royalty, future senator. Daddy's wet dream. I almost didn't come. Michael was in Zurich closing a $9 billion quantum deal, FaceTimed me from the jet and said, "Brie, you don't owe them shit. Stay home, order Nobu, let me spoil you when I land." But something in me, some dumb, hopeless, 12-year-old part, wanted to see if tonight would finally be different. Spoiler, it wasn't. I pull up in my white Audi RS Q8, custom plates Reaper 7 that nobody in my family ever bothered to Google, walk in looking like old money black Barbie in white silk and diamonds, and still get seated at table 19, back by the kitchen, next to the aunties who smell like Bengay and judgment. Mama glides by in her couture, air kisses the side of my cheek, whispers, "Practical hairstyle, Brie, very courthouse chic," and keeps it moving. Jessica floating around in custom Vera Wang, accepting compliments like oxygen. Daddy gets on stage, does the whole proud father toast, calls Jessica the daughter who makes the Larson name shine, then spots me in the cheap seats and says, "And of course my other daughter Brie is here, still doing that little public defender thing. We're so proud of her independence. Hope she finds a good man one day." Room laughs. I sip my water, smile like I'm posing for a mugshot. Then the finale. Daddy grabs a whole tray of champagne, trips, and dumps it all over me like it's a damn comedy sketch. Room loses their damn minds. That's when I feel Michael's jacket before I see him. The ballroom doors open like the gates of hell just swung wide. 2 6'5" ex-SEALs in Brioni walk in first. Earpieces glowing, eyes scanning like they're clearing a hostile embassy. Then him, Michael Sterling. My husband. No tie, top button undone, looking like quiet money and controlled violence wrapped in Tom Ford. Room goes dead silent. You could hear a champagne bubble pop. He doesn't look at Daddy, doesn't look at Jessica crying into Ryan's arm, doesn't look at Mama clutching her pearls like they're rosary beads. He walks straight to table 19, shrugs off his jacket, wraps it around my soaked shoulders, pulls me into his chest, kisses my wet hair, and says loud enough for the cheap seats and the cheap people to hear, Sorry I'm late, baby. Flight got delayed. You good?" I nod into his chest, finally breathing for the first time all night. Then he turns, one arm still locked around my waist, and stares my father down like he's prey. David Larson, Michael says, voice calm, but every syllable costs $1 million. I just watched you assault my wife on camera. My security team's got 4K from 6 angles. You'll be hearing from counsel. Daddy's face goes gray. Mama makes a sound like a dying bird. Jessica screams, "You hired actors to ruin my night!" Ryan Harrison, golden boy, future senator, suddenly looking like he's about to shit a brick, steps forward, eyes wide, and whispers, "Holy fuck, you're Brie Larson? The AUSA who indicted my uncle last year?" The math hits the room at the same time. The broke public defender just walked in with the most powerful couple in tech and law. The laughter dies like someone pulled the plug. Daddy tries to recover. "There's been a misunderstanding." Michael cuts him off with one raised finger. "Nah, no misunderstanding. You humiliated my wife. In front of Chicago. On camera. We done here." He looks at me, softens. "You ready, love?" I nod. We walk out. 500 people part like the Red Sea again. Phones still up, but nobody daring to record now. His security bubble closes around us, and just like that, the Larsons become the sideshow. 1 year later, Jessica and Ryan's wedding got quietly downsized after the Harrison family reconsidered optics. Daddy's biggest development deal fell apart when investors Googled the viral clip titled "Chicago Billionaire Shuts Down Toxic Father-in-Law." Mama's on anxiety meds and finally going to therapy. Jessica unfollowed me on everything and moved to DC to start fresh. And me, Michael and I bought the entire top 3 floors of the new Sterling Tower on Michigan Avenue, turned one into a private residence with bulletproof glass and a rooftop helipad. I still prosecute corrupt politicians by day, still undefeated, still feared. By night I come home to a man who looks at me like I hung the moon and calls me "Your Honor" in bed just to make me laugh. Sometimes blood ain't thicker than boundaries. Sometimes the family that birthed you is just the opening act, and the real ones are the ones who show up when the lights go out and the champagne's cold. Michael, my team at the U.S. Attorney's Office, my cousin Emily, who still texts me memes at 2 a.m. That's my table now. And there's always an empty seat with a warm plate for anybody who had to walk through fire to find their own. Drop your city, and the night you finally let them see the real you and watch their whole world glitch. I'm replying to every single one because somebody scrolling right now is still shrinking themselves to fit a family that wouldn't notice if they disappeared. Stop. Stand up. Dripping wet, crown crooked, smile cold as Chicago winter, and walk. The view's better when the table's yours and the champagne's on your terms. Peace out. Stay lethal. Stay loved. Stay making them choke on the version of you they swore would never win. Love y'all. For real.